Hey guys, so we're back for day 2 of following the old abandoned railway line in Japan, and you can see this is the bit we're going for today, basically crossing another mountain. So day 1 was crossing a small mountain. This is crossing another mountain with a bit of a tunnel there in the middle. You can see the crease where it's open, and then where there's no crease, we're guessing that's where the tunnel's going to be. We're starting down there where the bridge is, where we left off after day 1. So there's the bridge, that's where we got to at the end of day 1. This is the beginning of day 2. We've climbed up this embankment here again. And we're going to go in here. And again, same conditions as last time. It's about 34 degrees and about 75 to 80% humidity. Or higher probably in here in the wet forest. It was pretty intense, guys. No sooner do you get out of the car than you start pouring with sweat. It's really, really hot. And pretty hard work climbing through all this goings on. That was a pretty steep hill there. That's why the old guy's panting and puffing. So again, same deal as last time, spiderwebs all over the place, so you'll see a stick waving around in front of the camera, knocking the spiderwebs down, and a lot of looking at the ground, keeping an eye out for the snakes, because in heat like this, in a little bit of an open space, compared to the rest of the forest, the bit where the line is a little bit more open, so it's just classic environment for snakes. So trying to get through in amongst the trees here, knock down the spider webs, not stand on the snakes. Oh yeah, look at this. It's one of the insulators off the poles that hold the power lines, and it's got 1952 written on it. So you would have to guess that could be when they converted from steam trains to electric trains on this line. Maybe. There's no guarantee. I mean, they could have used that insulator after that, couldn't they? They could have converted to electricity earlier, but who knows. But 1952 they had written on it. A little bit different environment from yesterday's effort. The day 1 effort was a little bit more overgrown than that, but wasn't as wet. This is really wet.
Oh, shit.
And the shoes aren't waterproof. The old man's shoes are not waterproof, so we weren't quite expecting a pond. But because it's obviously it's a fairly severe cutting here, both sides slope fairly severely. That's actually had a landslide down there. So fairly serious cutting. Obviously all the water's just funneling down into the center of the cutting, which is making it pretty wet. See the tracks? You can still see the tracks there, look. Just see them. So no idea exactly how far in this tunnel is, or even if there's one there. We're only sort of assuming that the map had one marked that we found on the first day. But it just seemed that from what we could see on Google Earth and from the lay of this land and the steepness of the mountain, it just seemed inevitable there'd be a tunnel in here. So I've come in here assuming that there is one. But if there isn't a tunnel, the plan is just to keep walking and then come out the other side of the mountain, either way. And then there was this. So same deal as the other one. They've put a fence across with a lock gate on it. We're not going to be jumping over lock gates and going into places like that because it's just not worth it. We can sort of see from both ends of the tunnel what they look like. The center of the tunnel is going to be the same. It's not worth risking. The way the laws work in Japan, you know, trespass laws. This property obviously all still belongs to the rail company. So if they put up a fence with a sign that says don't enter, we're just not going to go in, because as we've talked about previously, you know, the last thing you want in Japan is some sort of criminal charge. It could really change your life in Japan big time. So the other thing is we can see what it looks like. The other one, the one we saw on the first day, we could see the whole length of it, and it was pretty much the same the whole length. This one's obviously longer than the first one. Can't see the other end. There must be a big curve in it. But you get the idea, don't you? See how steamy it is, guys? That's not the camera, that's what the air looks like. Really, really steamy. It actually looks steamier like that to the naked eye. The camera's not picking up on it as much, but just really steamy, really humid. So this is actually the other end of the tunnel. Went around the other side of the mountain and came at it from the other end. So this is the other end of the tunnel. And again, it's really wet, but it is actually a slightly different environment than the other side. The other side's sort of wild mountain countryside in the middle of nowhere. This side actually leads down into a town. And it is a little bit different on this side. But again, you can see this end's the same as the other end. The middle would be the same. Would really like to go in there, but it's just not worth the risk, guys. Steamy. See, that's steam, guys. That's not the camera again. That's just steam. It was either throw a rock in there or yell out. Alright, so you're ready to see what this side of the mountain looks like, guys. It is a little bit different. It is a little bit different from the other side. See that steam? There's actually a scene out there that you can't see. It's not really steam, is it? It's humidity. It's a fog from the cold water and the humid air, isn't it? It's sort of pretty, but just an intense atmosphere to exercise in. It really was. And it was fairly serious exercise, as you can see. So very, very pretty. Lovely atmosphere, but really hard on the old body. You ready for this? really different scene from the other side. There's a spider. There's one you can see. There's 10,000 that you couldn't see. There's one that you can. There you go. And there it is. There's a town out there. You'll remember from the map we showed you at the beginning. Just a little town. So we've gone from one valley on one side of the mountain to this valley on the other side of the mountain, and it's sort of spread out here a bit more of a plain next to a river. So it's a bit of a different terrain, bit of a different environment than the other side, as you can see. Cut across the line there to put a little road in, but it continues on the other side of that little road. So off it goes through the town there, and we spotted it, so we know what it looks like going through there. So this is going to be the start of day 3. I'm going to come back to this spot and follow the line from here through that town, and it joins up with the river and the cutest little train station you've ever seen. That'll be day 3, and maybe we'll make it to the bridge on day 3. We don't know yet. But one thing we do know, look at this. Just to add to the concern we had already, mamushi it says. That's the nasty snake that we've been keeping an eye out for. Just to confirm it, yes, they are there. Fabulous. That'll be day 3. The day of the snake, we can call it. The snake, the nice railway station, and maybe the bridge if we get that far, hopefully. Beautiful little river it goes beside. Day 3, looking forward to it. More videos coming soon.